and take out the Minneapolis team by 1 goal that we had the battle with just 2 days ago in a shutout performance by Mr. Buell in net. So we will, I assume, go with Ellickson tonight, and we will have tonight. And regardless, we're playing next Friday night. Tonight is kind of just determined whether we play the early game or the late game there. So 15 fresh minutes, and we'll see how she goes. You talk over yours. I'll try to be.
Yeah,
I'll try to be quiet and I didn't mean it for you. I just like sometimes it's just about voice direction sometimes too. So. If you overheard the talk with Greg Buell there, I'll let you hear the PA.
Here's your contract for Austin Maple Grove. Number 1, starting in goal, Brandon Smith. Number 3, Maxwell Webster. Number 4, Henry Johnson. Number 6, Lucas Ryan. Number 7, Colton Steele. Number 8, James Stormo. Number 9, Anthony Freed. Number 10, Anthony Springer. Number 11, Eli Diego. Number 12, O'Reilly. Number 13, Luke Carlson. Number 14, William Peterson. Number 15, Justin Gaspard. Number 16, Cole Meyer. Number 17, Jason Hall. And number 18, Jonathan Farrell. Here's the roster for Wayzata Gold. Number 1, starting goal, Charlie Ellison. Number 2, Bennett Bishop. Number 3, Shannon Clovis. Number 4, Peter Holzer. Number 5, Harry Jeffers. Number 6, Max Hasselfeld. Number 7, Everett Altfield. Number 8, Griffin Brown. Number 9, Jesse LeBeau. Number 10, Andrew Wilson. Number 11, Carson Thompson. Number 12, Bruce Rickman. Number 13, Mr. Kirk. Number 18, Drew Reed. Number 44, Jackson Gilbert. Number 25, Jack Cohen.
All right, a little pump and circumstance to the championship game here. We'll see who we lead out with. Looks like Kane and Brown and Altschul at forward, Wilson and Jeffers out in front of Charlie Ellickson in net. Kanan on the draw. Kanan wins. Finds Jeffers, looks for Homstall. Homstall flips it back to his D partner. It ends up in Maple Grove. Possession tied up on the edge, and Homstall forces it in. Maple Grove holds up. A little slow start here early. Maple Grove with the first chance at a breakout, working their way through. Finally, Jeffers with a little room on the near side. He flips one on net, and an early save here for Maple Grove. Working away on the edge as Wilson holds it on the backside, but Maple Grove with a breakout across the red line, across the blue line to Jeffers, scoots his way through and just up and over the net there. Jeffers now plays here near side, looking for Kanan. Kanan chips it forward to Homstall. Homstall leaves it back for Brown. Brown trying to find a little room, centering pass up. Nobody left there as Kanan was getting a center break. Homstall does carry it across the center. It gets chipped forward here as Prentice is now in along with Nicollet, Hasselfelt, LaRose, and Clavin in. LaRose flips one on, and a save number 2, I believe, on the day for the Maple Grove goalie as Clavin comes around, tries to get his hands free, and he flips one in, and a save again for Maple Grove. A couple early shots on goal, nothing particularly dangerous for the Trojans, but 3 good stops for the Maple Grove goalie and some early pressure for the Trojans. Wayzata wins. Prentice plays one in. It finds its way to the 5-hole, but closes up just at the last minute. Nice shot by Prentice from the blue line right in front of us here. Hasselfelt on it again, tries to flip it free to Prentice. Prentice flips another one. Deflection by Hasselfelt goes wide, well wide into the corner, and Clavin is bodying into the corner, trying to get it out. He'll chase into the far side now. Look up front. That's broken up by Nicollet. Chip back in, backhanded, but right to Maple Grove, who has an opportunity to kick it out. They flip it out, have a fresh center, and Meade in. And I guess offsides on Maple Grove as the Trojans were turning that around. So fresh forwards in, fresh everybody in. Wilson and Jeffers in front of Buell. Meade wins that draw back to Wilson. He'll have Kurth and Altschul on either side. Kurth chips it forward to Meade, back to Kurth, back to Meade as they work their way through. Jeffers turns. He flips one to Wilson just in time there as Altschul turns and he dumps one in. That gets right to Maple Grove and exited out. Wilson goes down, blows an edge on the corner, and Meade can't quite get back on side, so we'll center up here at the red line. 0-0 early, just less than 3 minutes into this one with 12:07 left in the first. Kanan, Brown, and Homstall back in. Kanan holds up on that one. Brown comes in to pick it up, and a win by Kanan. Brown takes it deep. Centering pass up front. Nobody really there, but it does scoot across the crease, and Maple Grove works their way out, and Kanan turns the corner, dangles his way in, looking for Homstall on the far side. He does get it to him deep into that corner. Brown there to help out. He tries to skate out with it. Maple Grove now on it. Comes back out to Nicollet. Nicollet chops that back in. And Maple Grove looks to skate out with it, and they do. Cross the blue line, through center ice, and into zone. Prentice plays it to Nicollet. Has a little room to skate free with it and just powers it through. Flips it forward to Hasselfelt. Stays on sides there as Homstall dumps it into Kanan. Maple Grove cuts him off. They've got a little breakout on the far side. As Clavin now in for Brown. Kurth on it. Now Maple Grove has numbers, or at least a 2-on-1, and a back check by Kanan comes in, and a glove save by Ellickson. 10:51 left in the first, 0-0. Fresh everybody in, I believe. as Jeffers and Wilson are in. That ends up in Hasselfelt, LaRose, and Clavin in. Hasselfelt works it up the far side, dumps it in. He's going to chase it into the corner himself. Flies in back behind the net. LaRose there with him. Maple Grove gets control of it in the corner, and now we've got a breakout. Skating across center ice. Played off nicely by Jeffers. Gets tied up into the corner, and the Maple Grove skater actually regroups and finds a piece of it as it gets physical in that corner and shuts that forward off. Bodied up out front. Finds its way to a Maple Grove edge here, and that goes up and over the top of Ellickson. Chipped forward by Wilson, dumped back down, and Jeffers will play it, looking for Clavin. Clavin tries to chip it through. Not much there, but Hasselfeld gets a piece of it. Stick lift by LaRose, and LaRose actually turns that in across the blue line deep into Trojan territory before Maple Grove picks it up and tries to skate it out. And they do have it centered as Wilson poke checks one away on the far side. Maple Grove skater gets a piece of it again as now Wilson will regroup behind the net. Has it up. Kurth to Mead. Back to Kurth. Maple Grove regroups as Jeffers gets a piece of it. Mead turns it around, ends up high up in the slot and deflected down as Jeffers chips one forward, and that'll ice. So I'll keep you down here. That'll come back into a... Nope, that got waved off. That come to a stop. Sorry. I shouldn't assume. That came to a stop a little quicker than I expected. And now Wayzata's holding a little pressure in as Nicollet dumps it in. Kurth will play it back behind the net. Back to Nicollet. The backhander right back in as Maple Grove will try to exit again. This one gets flipped up high and Mead on it. Kurth goes down, and a nice little pass up has a streaking Maple Grove skater across the blue line as Nicollet poke checks away and rides that Maple Grove skater into the corner. Regrouped, and another Maple Grove skater comes to help out. Regrouped. Mead has it. Mead trying to find his way out. Turned around by Maple Grove. Prentice to Kurth. And Kurth flips one up. That one, I believe, will get officially iced and back. 8:17 left in the first. 0-0, and a pretty even skate so far. Kane and Brown and Homstall back in at center. Nicollet and Prentice out front. Kanan wins that draw. We Plinko back and forth here, trading shots from the blue lines, trying to get a break into zone. Brown chips one forward to Kanan, but it ends up back deep into zone for the Trojans. Brown plays it forward, looking for Homstall. Homstall looking for a stick lift. Maple Grove controls deep. Skaters fly in. Up front, little give and go there, ends up back to Prentice. Near side now, Brown plays it. Kanan tries to chip it through, nothing there, and a shot on from the point, and a good save for Ellickson. Right at the halfway mark, or a second past, at 7:29 left here in the first. We remain 0-0. Fresh crew back in here for the Trojans as Hasselfeld, LaRose, and Clavin are in. Jeffers and Wilson remain, I believe. Shot on and save for Ellickson. Play high up and over the top here as Clavin plays it. Now Jeffers into the corner. Maple Grove, however, controls out front. And LaRose now skates free with it. Gets across and dumps that in and gets pinned up against the boards. Clavin bodies into the edge. Picks up a loose puck out front and had Hasselfeld right on the crease and gets taken off his skates as Maple Grove now skates it in. Jeffers there. Ellickson plays that back behind the net, and Maple Grove picks it up. Wilson on it. Works his way out. Has Hasselfeld cross the blue line. in the zone, and they chip that forward. Trojans in a change, but they do it efficiently as Prentice plays it back behind the net. 6:18 left here in the first, and Prentice is going to skate this through. Gets hung up on the blue line as Nicollet has room right down the middle. Finds it forward to Ulchel. That ends up skipping through to the blue line again, and Maple Grove chips it forward. Back to Ulchel. Ulchel dumps that back deep, and that plays behind the Maple Grove net, and a breakout opportunity on the near side as Prentice stops, breaks, and they got a 2-on-1 situation, although temporarily, as Prentice plays it, but Nicollet shuts it down quickly. Kurth on the near side plays it in. Maple Grove chips that right back in to Trojan territory here. All right, Meade works his way through the neutral zone, but not for long as Maple Grove chips it back in. Ellickson looks to play it, but Prentice on it. Kurth now near side as Maple Grove plays it in deep. Near side pressure from Meade. Prentice gets involved. Meade skates free with it. Ulchel chips it forward onto the near side. Try to get it out as Trojans get caught in a exchange, but Kurth slows things up nicely there to get at least a primary change of forwards. Kanan on it. Now Maple Grove turns. Plenty of pressure here lately for Maple Grove as the Trojans seem to control a lot of early puck pressure, and the Trojans have had it since. And now Homstall flying up the near side. Centering pass up, finds Kanan, couldn't get a full stick on it, and that ends up iced back as Maple Grove looking for a change, gets one. And an icing comes all the way back down. And a full Trojan change here as Kanan, Brown, and Homstall back in. Jeffers and Wilson are your defenders. Maple Grove controls off the draw, looking for a breakout. Flips one forward. It ends up in neutral ice, but it's there to be played by Jeffers. Kanan has an opportunity to skate it in as a dangle by Kanan drew him off sides, and Brown's released just a little early over that blue line. Maple Grove controls another draw off the front, pushes it forward, dumps it deep into zone. Brown tries to get one across to Homstall, does. Finds Kanan streaking up the left side. Out front, chipped in by Prentice. Prentice has another shot at it. He flips another one in, and he gloves that one out front. Does not give up a rebound. And we'll get a change here. How are you, Briggs?
Good.
It's good to see you, buddy.
Yeah.
How have you been?
Good.
Good. That gets flipped in by Nicollet. Maple Grove, however, gets a piece of that, skates it in, and off the grid of Ellickson, and another one high for Ellickson. Just two scoring chances from deep there. Good saves by Ellickson as that came in high, I think, off the helmet or the face mask once or twice, and Maple Grove skates free with it. Nicollet chips it forward to Kanan, over to Homstall. Homstall has a little room on the far side, tries to get it back to Kanan, can't quite get there. Maple Grove regroups out front, and they chip one forward. Nicollet holds up. And what do they get there? What did he chip with? Suspect call there, but they're going to get Nicollet for something. He said a trip, but I don't know. He's standing his ground on the far edge, holding the blue line up. And I don't know. We've had a pretty clean skate, and that was a suspect early call. 2:43 So we'll have to skate through much of the remainder of this period, barring a Maple Grove goal here, killing it. An early shot fires wide. Out front. Wilson bodies up. Jeffers now getting involved. Clavin near side. Okay. Out front, good scoring opportunity there for Maple Grove. Clavin plays it, and it ends up out in front by Hasselfeld. Played right back in by Maple Grove. They cross that blue line, get hung up early, but find a shot early. Another shot ricochets out and around the edge. 1:12 left in the power play, 1:50 left in the first as Maple Grove enters zone again. Has a little room on the far side, and Ellickson shuts that one down. 0-0 with a minute left here on the penalty, 1:42 in the period. Winning a goal, off the faceoff. Maple Grove wins that one. Shoots one hard on goal. Maple Grove skaters going down. As Brown now plays into the corner. Kanan looks to skate out, gets skinny, and Ellickson on the spot. Eats that one up. 44 seconds left in the power play and 1:27 now left. Maple Grove wins again. Homstall loses one, and Kanan now has a one-on-one. Could need to try to dump that one in and kill some time, but Maple Grove turns that around pretty quickly. They come in on the slot, on point-blank range, and puck in, and Ellickson holds up and saves. 26 seconds left with 1:09 in the period. Fresh skaters coming in is LaRose and Hasselfeld. Maple Grove controls, has a lot of room out front, turns into the slot, rips one hard, and another save by Ellickson. Wilson plays that up, and that scoots past the Maple Grove skater. This is going to kill much of this penalty. They'll kind of have one last rush here with 7 seconds left. And here they come with two, and now we are at even strength with one last push. And Wilson does a nice job of holding that up, and it comes up, picked up at the blue line, and a save for Ellickson. Ellickson remains hot in net, and a good penalty kill here for the Trojans on a suspect early-only call on a phantom trip on Nicollet. Hasselfeld, LaRose, and Clavin are your forwards. Looks like Nicollet and Prentice defending. Prentice rips one around to Clavin. That rallies all the way around the net and is waved off as LaRose closing hard. That comes out top, and Nicollet is on it. Nicollet turns and fires. Hasselfeld gets in on the party, flips it up, looks to LaRose. 7 seconds left. And that is the end of the first. 0-0 in a defensive battle. Fantastic performance early by Ellickson. Several scoring opportunities early. And we've got a great skate here. 0-0 through 1. We'll be back with you in 1 minute. I consulted my rules expert, and it was not a trip. It was a knee, and that is a tendency, I think, there is looking for body, and you sneak a knee up. So as much as I didn't like that penalty, it sounded legit. It was not a trip. It was a knee, and that makes a little more sense. So no harm, no foul is a penalty kill for the Trojans. Takes us into the second here. 15 fresh minutes, and we're 0-0. Mead, Altschul, and Kurth are your forwards. Wilson and Jeffers work a little D-to-D pass, and it finds its way through to Altschul. Altschul gets across, dumps it in, and Mead chases it deep. Held up by Jeffers. Skated through by Kurth, and Maple Grove skates free with it. And a poke check away. Has a little breakout opportunity, but not for long, as Maple Grove's D is in place to shut that down. Jeffers tries to get something out of it, finds Kurth. Kurth flips that in, rips it around the backside as forecheck coming here. That came off the board a little weird there and gave us a chance. Mean now battling in the corner. Brown in. Jeffers dumps it, and Brown into the corner, putting a little pressure on. Amstal now coming on in, along with Kanan. And it ends up in the Trojan bench. So that'll be an offensive zone draw as Maple Grove chipped that into the Trojan bench. So just 1 minute into this one, and we remain 0-0. Kane and Brown, Homstall, your forwards. Nicollet and Prentice out in front of Buell at the blue line. Played in, looks for a tip out front. Not enough on that one to get anything going. And now Maple Grove skates away with it. Has a little bit of space, and Nicollet with a poke check breaks down what looked like a good scoring opportunity for OMG. Trojans, pucks out front. Maple Grove skips one in, and a slow deflected puck works its way in, and they had to get that one exited. Puck lingered way too long in and around the crease and eventually deflects off a Maple Grove forward and in to the side of the net. And OMG scores first. 1:30 into the second, and Trojans down 1. Hasselfeld, LaRose, and Clavin in. Maple Grove eventually works that out of the draw, chases it deep. Seem to be the more active skaters right now, evidenced by that last play as well, as Clavin now in, helping out Hasselfeld. All three forwards involved there as the D's covering up the crease. And Clavin kicks it free, flips it forward. Trojans on the breakout, has LaRose skating wide. LaRose gets deep in a centering pass, scoots all the way through, and break out here for Maple Grove with a bit of a 3-on-3 chance, and that Ripper flips high off Ellickson into the net, and 12:46 left and a 1-goal lead for Maple Grove. That was a ripper.
You'll beat Charlie from there, though.
No, I know, but that came in a little hotter than I expected. All right, Kurth dumps one out, scoots by. Mead chasing. Kurth breaking, ends up back at neutral ice. Breakaway chance as that gets through. Trojans back check and shut that breakout down as they got a little out of position and now battle on the corner. Mead on it. Jeffers finds his way through to Altschul. Altschul gets across the red line, dumps one in, and Mead will chase back behind the net. That rolls free, and Maple Grove works its way out and has a breakout chance here through neutral ice. Across the red line, her stick flies through the air, ends up in deep. On their, where'd that? I don't even know who they got. Everett. Nope, Kurth. Kurth on a hook. Somehow his stick was flying through the air, and he didn't recover, and we got another penalty. So I may be wrong on this one, too. I thought it was wrong on the first one, or I was wrong on the first one. This one was more phantom, as I think Kurth in for a hook. Brown, Kanan, Prentice, and Nicollet in. Is there a penalty for losing your stick?
I think it might have been Everett. They got the wrong guy.
Oh, okay. All right, another PK here for OMG as Nicollet has it. That'll scoot through to neutral ice. Maple Grove will regroup. Brown pressures with a little forecheck. Brown disrupts. Maple Grove finds its way through. Heavy pressure out front as Nicollet finds centering pass does find its way out front, but ends up out into neutral ice as Brown applies some forecheck pressure here as well. Stick poke away. It finds its way in. And that flips in. Kanan breaks on one, looking for a shorty. Nothing doing there. 57 seconds left as Brown misses, I think, on that hit attempt, but has a little room upside, looking for Kanan streaking up the far edge. Maple Grove chips it back in. Oh, looking for Kanan on a little bit of a leak out there. 37 seconds left in the power play. On the doorstep, that flips up high and behind the net. Maple Grove works it around to their defenseman, and they get it out, and now Kanan has room. Kanan. Kanan possesses deep. Kanan kills much of that power play, but now Maple Grove has numbers leaking out. One last little rush as even strength here now for the Trojans. And we got to get our shape and get back into it as Wilson draws a nice hit out front, but it ends up wide open and a deflection and saved by Ellickson. Jeffers has Hasselfeld. Hasselfeld gets drugged down. We've seen two phantom calls, and somehow that wasn't a penalty. Centered out front. Jeffers flies in, and a high puck goes up and over the top. Wilson now flips one in. Deflected, and that does not get seen by the goalie, but scoots wide left. The Trojans are going back and forth here. Wilson works one through, finds a little bit of space. Centering pass, rolls in, and that goes wide. 8:54 left here, and that will be iced, so we'll kick you back down here. 8:48 left, a one-goal lead for Maple Grove as we enter about the halfway point of this game. Trojans have to produce a little offense here. Mead, Altschul, and Kurth will be tasked with that, along with Prentice and Nicollet out in front of Buell. Mead wins that. It comes out to Prentice. Prentice rips one up, gets deflected up into the net, and that just killed a couple seconds with 8:45 remaining here in the first. Maple Grove picks that one up, has a little bit of space here. Nicollet casually comes across, and that was a deflector that didn't miss by much. Ended up high and over the top. Ellickson has a good feel for that. And now the puck is on the edge. Kurth battling. Finds its way out. Maple Grove regains control. Kurth takes a shot, ends up freed to the defenseman. Puck back behind the net. Played off. Maple Grove controls. Lots of room. They work their way up to the D. They flip that in, and a deflected puck finds its way down, and Ulchel flips that out into zone, albeit temporarily. Puck comes right at us. Everybody's safe in front of me here. All is well. No black eyes. And so we'll have an offensive zone draw here with, I believe, a fresh line in Wilson and Jeffers in front of Buell. Kanan will take this draw, flanked by Brown and Homstall. 8 minutes on the dot left here, and the Trojans still desperately need a little offense. Maple Grove controls, flips it to neutral ice. Wilson on it, tries to flip it back to Brown and doesn't quite get enough on it. Gets played out. Brown comes back to help out, ends up back with Kanan. Kanan breaks, trying to get a piece of it. Brown on the edge as well, but Maple Grove finally skates free with it. Trying to scoot it out and can't exit the zone. Wilson chips one forward. Brown all the way across to Homstall and picked off with speed by Maple Grove, and that gets flipped up and into the net again. So a defensive zone face-off here with 7:25 left. Breakout's not super strong today. We got to get something going. That little bit of improvement on breakout maybe gets us some scoring chances that we desperately need. But first and foremost, we got to win a draw and control here deep in our own zone. That ends up to Wilson. Wilson still battling in the far corner, looking for Homstall. Kanan circles. Maple Grove on the slot. Wilson gets a piece of it. Bodies pile up on the far corner, and Kanan with a little bit of room through neutral ice chips one forward to Homstall. Homstall in a race, gets bodied off nicely by the Maple Grove defender, who turns that back around. Jeffers was on it temporarily. Now Brown gets a piece of it, and Brown chips that back in. Trojans maintain a little bit of offensive possession. Brown skates past that one, however. Maple Grove controls and has a chance to set up a breakout here as they scoot that to neutral ice. Jeffers on it, turns and fires, and just out of Brown's reach, it gets back in zone just for a moment behind the offsides. Wilson turns that around, but Maple Grove holds. Clavin chips one back, looking for Jeffers. Jeffers to Homstall. To Clavin. Clavin chips one forward, and he'll chase that in. So we'll serve some time. We had 6 skaters running there for some period of time. All right, third PK for the Trojans here. Not a way to come back from a 1-goal deficit with 5 minutes and 37 seconds left in the second. But so far the PKs have been successful. But the Trojans got to figure out yet again another one. Meade goes down. Nicollet skates out with it. He scoots that forward to himself, flips one in near side, chips one up high. Short-handed here, looking for a little bit of action. Can't give up something deep. And we got a back check back because we now got skaters diving in. And a puck out front gets flipped out by Clavin, held by Maple Grove out front. Hard chopper bounces weirdly across the front. That was a dangerous shot. It comes back out to the defender, working their way back to a near side forward. Another shot attempt in, and a drive misses wide right. Prentice battles near side. Clavin on it. Trojans continue to try to work. It's chipped back to neutral ice. Nicollet flips one forward, trying to get one on, and nothing there, and that'll be iced back. Killed about half of it, half and change. 58 seconds remaining on the power play, 4:35 in the second period. Trojans trying to kill a penalty here. Brown battles, working his way out. Finds it, albeit temporarily, killing some time. And the Can you check if I'm online? All right, sorry, I heard we're maybe not online, so if you are online, maybe text a loved one and let them know that we're there. Homstall just out in front of him, gets it out in front and scares it down. Did look like he didn't chase that icing down as a lead pass got out in front of Homstall. Didn't hurt much anyways. As it works their way through, Brown breaks that scoring attempt up with 4 seconds left, and that is the end of the second. Oh no, that was the end of the power play. Sorry, we got 3 minutes left. Losing track of my clocks here. So 3:30 left and an icing on Maple Grove, and Wayzata will get an offensive zone draw here with 3:28 left in the second. That's a big penalty kill. You don't want to go down 2 in a game that has been as tough to produce offense as we've had. Mead, Olchel, Kurth are your forwards. Nicollet and Prentice, your blue liners. Minneapolis or Maple Grove wins. They draw back, but Minneapolis on it. Maple Grove battles deep. Ultra will chase back behind the net. Tries to flip it out to Nicollet. Nicollet controls up front. Nicollet flips one in. That hits a body, and Maple Grove shuts that down with 3 minutes left. They bring it into zone here, have a little bit of space. And a poke check away creates just enough room as Prentice tries to exit. Kurth turns. Prentice will try the other side. Ulchel misses a puck out front. Maple Grove on the crease and finds goal number 2 as we couldn't get a puck exited there that desperately needed to get out. So skating a little flat here are the Trojans, and a puck that desperately needed to get out on this near edge. We just got out skated to it, centered, and a couple of pucks out front finally get chipped in, and the Trojans go down 2 with 2:39 here left in the second. Maple Grove controls. LaRose battles with him. Hasselfeld gets it. Another puck gets flipped on net right away by Maple Grove off that win. Jeffers deep, puts a little pressure. Clavin trying to chip one out. Maple Grove scoots through, and they chip it out. Has Hasselfeld. Hasselfeld works his way hard up the right side. He goes down deep into zone. Scoots through neutral ice in a 3-on-1 situation here. And a heavy back check comes in as Ellickson plays that perfectly out front. Going in for 2 more? I didn't even see it. Okay. Clavin for a cross check with 2 minutes left, or 1:58. So down 2 now. The Trojans have to kill yet again another penalty. Reserve that one. Homstall chasing deep into the zone. Regrouping here as Maple Grove tries to break out through a penalty kill breakout. They do. 3-on-2 chance. Ellickson chops one free. Kanan takes a little bit of pressure. Maple Grove stays onside, and they dump that back. Little more time on the penalty clock than there is on the game clock. So 1:15 on the game. A puck out front. Ellickson battles. Finds a way out. 109, 106 in the game in the quarter clock. So we're going to start here. Oh, net off the stanchion here. So it'll give us a defensive zone draw here. 1:02 left in the period. 1:05 left in this penalty. 2-0 Maple Grove. Mead works his way deep. 57 seconds left. Mead continues to hustle out front. Brown has a chance, and now Maple Grove scoots that back out. Brown does break, create a little bit of tension deep. Has it out front to Mead. Mead can't quite get there. Pass just out too far in front as a best arguable scoring chance for the Trojans, as Mead then chips another one in. 25 seconds left as the Trojans try to kill another penalty. Mead blocks one deep.
Get there. We're on a power play.
Flipped in by Brown, gets on net and shoveled away. So 2 seconds left on the penalty. We will take about a 10-minute break here as they'll resurface and be back with the third. Trojans desperately needing to find a little bit of offense. All right, the boys are back skating. Hopefully they found a little motivation. They got to kill a 2-second power play for Maple Grove and then manufacture some offense in the third. Ellickson's had a strong showing. Has stopped a lot of shots. There hasn't been a lot of offense, though, either direction. And the Trojans are finding themselves in a 2-goal deficit here in the third, desperately trying to find a way to get something going. Kane and Brown and Homstall will start. Homstall's got to hold off for 2 seconds on this power play. Nicollet and Jeffers out in front of Ellickson. Never mind, Nicollet and Prentice. Trojans kill that 2 minutes, but Maple Grove chips one deep. Nicollet has Brown. Brown flips one all the way across through the legs of Homstall. Chip back in by Maple Grove. Out to Prentice. Kanan dangles on the line, does chip that deep. An interference early, so first power play chance for the Trojans. So see if Trojans can pull something together here. Interference on Maple Grove. 2-minute power play for the Trojans. As Brown in the corner flips one out to Nicollet. Nicollet flips in off the skate of Maple Grove. Kicked out, and a breakout chance here as Brown works his way back in. Ties him up. Nicollet has room to skate it back out. Looking up, chipped one high to Kanan. Kanan gets back on it. Tries to dangle one through. Shut down as Brown gets a piece. Maple Grove flips one to Nicollet. Nicollet through neutral ice. Skates it across the blue line. Flips it. Nope. Skates it deep. Tries a little wraparound chance. Not much there. Skips back in by Homstall as Nicollet Kanan battles in the corner. Homstall. Back to Kanan. All the way across. Wilson flips one in. That is saved by Maple Grove. Picked off by Brown. Flipped back to Jeffers. Jeffers chips one in. Maple Grove on it. Finds its way into Kanan. Brown holds things up on the far boards. Broken stick here for Kanan. And Maple Grove has numbers out. Chips one in. 26 seconds left in the power play as the Trojans have to find a way out. And with a few seconds remaining here, not really paying attention. And Maple Grove shuts down a breakout attempt. Finally, Hasselfeld gets back on it. Has LaRose, chips that in. Ends up back behind the net as Hasselfeld works his way on it. Puck flips in. LaRose on it and saved out front. We're at even strength officially here with 12:32. A few minor scoring chances there, but nothing meaningful for the Trojans. And a line change is complete here with Hasselfeld, Clavin, and LaRose, Jeffers, and Wilson back. Clavin bodies into the corner, but Maple Grove has a breakout through neutral ice. Glove save there by Ellickson. 12:19 left and time running out for the Trojans to start scoring some goals here. 2-goal lead as we enter Jeffers to Wilson. Nice pass across. Has Clavin streaking up the left side. Clavin in, on, in, glove saved. All the way across the crease there. 4 up. Breakaway save by Maple Grove. Deep in zone. Clavin on the breakaway. Shut down deep by the Maple Grove goalie. Nicollet holds things up. Deflected puck. Gloved again by Maple Grove. 11:54 left. Mead with Kurth and Altschul. Nicollet and Prentice holding the blue line, and we'll see what they can do here as Maple Grove skates through the middle, has a exit on their own, does get across neutral ice. Ooh, puck right out front. That flips wide left. Kurth near side, chips that forward. and that is icing 11:27 left here. We got a 2-goal deficit. The Trojans got to find a way to produce some goals. Kanan, Brown, Homstall are your forwards. Jeffers along with Wilson out in front of Ellickson. Puck out front. That scoots by everybody. That puck exited, rattled all the way down, and icing on the Trojans. Kanan will take another stab at this face-off deep. That ends up back behind the net. Jeffers takes his guy out. Wilson bodies his out, and Kanan works his way through. Has Homstall racing up the far side, tries to chip it back in, but Maple Grove gets on it in a 2-on-1 situation coming here. That gets flipped down and saved, by Ellickson. Homstall now on it. Homstall finds it deep. Brown chips it back. Maple Grove, however, picks that up as it doesn't find its way to Homstall. Jeffers holds the blue line near side. And we just seem a little flat-footed right now. Puck comes out. Brown tries to chip, and Maple Grove carries it into zone. 1-on-3. Toe drag in, dangles, and scores. Through 3 defenders, everybody sort of lazily threw sticks at it. Dangled his way all the way through in a one-man effort. Scores. I don't know if that's tired defenders or just a phenomenal effort, but there's 3 of them there. Somebody's got to put a body on them, and 2 of them put a body on them and 1 chip away, but everybody thought everybody else was going to take a piece of them. They let him skate absolutely through and flip a goal in. 3-goal lead here as time is running out on the Trojans. Here comes Hasselfeld, near side. They play the body better on a breakaway, take the skater down, and now have a breakout of their own. Puck flips up and into the net, deflected deep. 9:55 left here in the third. Just a general flat performance right now. The lack of offensive performance earlier was evident. I'm not sure on those 2 early goals, but that last goal should just never happen. Prentice chips forward. LaRose gets a piece of it, brings it to neutral ice. Has a little room near side. Clavin breaks one out. Maple Grove plays it over and dumps it back in. Clavin finds LaRose deep on the far side. LaRose chips that in. That gets saved off by Maple Grove. Maple Grove to the blue line. Skates right by another defender. Finally pick another one off, and that ends up in the bench. So that'll come down in a deep defensive zone draw for the Trojans as the line change is complete with Mead, Altschul, and Kurth. Maple Grove carries that deep, gets right back to the crease. A good defensive play out front holds that off. Jeffers looks for Altschul. Maple Grove plays that into their own zone temporarily, turns around, rips. Kurth now near side, tries to find his way through. He puts that on net and a save. Fresh forwards for the Trojans as Kane and Brown and Homstall come in. Jeffers and Wilson will remain on D in front of Ellickson. Maple Grove wins initially, has an opportunity to chip out, but Wilson there. Brown plays it off his hand into the corner. Now Maple Grove has room. Broken up initially by Wilson, and the back check needs to come and provide a little pressure as Homstall comes firing in. Bodies up. Jeffers into the corner, can't get it out. Maple Grove skates free with it. Has a little room out front as Wilson looks to skate out himself. Good defense there by Jeffers and Brown. Shut down kind of an open player on the slot for Maple Grove, and Maple Grove turns, skates that back into zone. Chipped away again by Maple Grove, and here comes Kanan. Picked off by Homstall. Homstall trying to get his hands free on the far side. Flips one in and saved by Maple Grove. Another big save there with a shot with 7:42 left. So we've got about half of the third left. And not a lot of Trojan offense, but that was one opportunity there late. They got to score one quick here to get within two. Turns, fires off the pipe for Clavin. Clavin gets hung up in the ref there. Maple Grove has a chance to flip it out. Prentice on it. Prentice flips one on the boards here. Puck out. LaRose then flips one in. That off the pad blocker for Maple Grove. Clavin closed on that, but Maple Grove won the race there. And now Maple Grove looking to break one out. Has a little shot out in a 2-on-1 situation. Can't quite play it as Nicollet chips that away. The next Maple Grove player comes in on the doorstep. Prentice looking for Clavin. Clavin pressures deep. Ends up deep. Plays it all the way up. Clavin has it at the blue line. Maple Grove pulls that off and tips up. Big check there by Nicollet. What was that? Oh, okay. All right, 6:25 left. Dwindling time. Mead, Kurth, Altschul are your forwards here. Wilson looking for Kurth off the back of his skates. Luckily gets back to Jeffers. Jeffers dumps it in, and Maple Grove retreats. Trying to work their way out as Mead puts a little pressure on, and Altschul dumps it in. Kurth now tries to play it. Maple Grove reverses. Wilson then chips that in, and that gets deflected out. Jeffers to Kurth. Picked up by Maple Grove. Back to Jeffers. Kanan working his way out, finds Homstall. Kanan turns, fires, and scores. Desperately need a goal to try to get within two, so at 5:26, the Trojans got to find another quick one. When do you start, even with a 2-goal lead, when do you start thinking about goalie pull? 3 minutes?
4 minutes.
Even 4? So it'd be nice to produce one here in the next 90 seconds. Trojans control off to Homstall. A puck on net. Comes out front. Flipped in by Prentice. And a little renewed energy here for the Trojans. But Maple Grove with a much needed breakout through neutral ice. Skates it through. Broken up. Nicollet on it. Looking for Homstall, far side, race into the corner. Homstall leans in, gets bodied up, but holds on to the puck out front, looking for Kanan. Near side here now as Maple Grove now has a piece of it. That'll end up on the far side to Wilson. Wilson has a little bit of space, looking to take advantage of a change. Skates his way in. Works his way out. Homstall flips it in, and a glove save. Another good save there. That might have flown high, but snagged it out of the air to be sure. And a deep draw here as a fresh set of Trojan skaters come in as Hasselfeld, LaRose, and Clavin are in. Jeffers and Wilson back deep. Body into the corner. As Maple Grove looks to skate it free. Everybody just sort of froze weirdly for a moment there. I don't know if they're expecting a penalty or... Body up front. Chipped in by LaRose into the corner. We got to be diving the net here. We could have been there, right? So a great centering pass, and we just didn't get in deep. Flipped in on net. Nothing there, actually. That got deflected a little further back. Scoots out. Maple Grove holds deep in as Meade tries to chip it through. They get held up deep. Trojans holding to regroup. Jeffers then flips one in. That gets played off into the corner. Kurth now chases into the corner. We got 3:23 left. Maybe a time we start thinking about, now what do we pull it? We got 3 down now. .310 and a 2-goal lead here for Maple Grove. Kurth gets hung up in his stick near side. Meade looking for Ulchel. Ulchel chips it forward, but Maple Grove holds, and Ulchel flips that in, and that'll be iced all the way back. We're a step off the red line. We got to skate that forward a little bit and put that safely deep into zone. 2:56 left. Timeout here for the Trojans. 3 minutes, or just inside 3 minutes. Coach LaRose drawing up something fancy here. What do you think he's got dialed up here, Greg?
Breakout play off the face-off.
And crash the net?
Get it out of the zone, get Charlie off, and see what happens.
Start throwing them at the net, see what we can produce? Yep. All right. We'll be back at it here as that's the end of this timeout. Kane and Brown, Homstall, along with Prentice and Nicollet will be in front of Ellickson. I presume Ellickson will skate off on a Trojan possession, and Nicollet scoots it forward. Brown skates right by one on a breakout attempt and just kind of misplaying the puck. Brown has another chance at it. It gets by him, and Maple Grove will skate deep and look for a little bit of pressure deep. This might be the possession we're looking for as pressure out front mounts. And that misses wide left as the Trojans empty the net. The first real shot on goes to Maple Grove as Homstall chips it forward, dumps back in by Maple Grove. Prentice to Brown to neutral ice. Offside, so it'll come to center ice. Six skaters on for the Trojans as they add Hasselfeld, Brown, Kanan. Kanan does carry it in. All the way across, has Hasselfeld, can't handle it. Maple Grove has a skate out chance again. And they work their way through. Battles out front. And Jeffers now has a little bit of room. Homstall has it again, and Maple Grove turns around. Hasselfeld looks to get a piece of action on the far side. Nothing there. And the puck ends up deep outside. Kanan tries to chip it through, and a puck right back in for Maple Grove and ice. 1:27 left. Clavin comes in to give Maple Grove maybe gets a timeout here. 1:27 left here in the third. I was questioning you, but I just don't honestly know. When you said, I thought I might have missed something.
Which one was that?
Oh, like when I'm like, was there something there? And you're like,
No,
oh no.
I thought it was interference, but
maybe.
because the puck was away from him and he took
It was
a
like
hit,
the first call. I thought they called a trip. I'm like, a trip. And then he's like, no, he got his knee out.
Stuck
And I'm
his
like,
leg
oh,
out a little
and that he does it.
Yeah.
And so like these guys are like, so I'm like, I'm a basketball guy.
Yeah, right. Me too. But yeah, they do that in the NHL when they kick their leg out. That's more of
You
a
get a piece
veteran
of it
move.
and he comes over the
You
top.
play the body,
Yep.
but then you stick your leg out a little
Yep.
bit. These kids typically don't know how to do that, so let's see.
Well, 2 goals in 1:27. We've got a 6th skater out. So we're going to put some shots on goal and control the puck here, hopefully, and at least make it interesting. Or they skate one free and poke an easy one in, and we ride off into the next level. But Meade now in. Brown with Kanan up front to Wilson. Wilson flips one in. That puck rides high up and over the top of the net. Nicollet can't quite hold that edge of the zone as Wilson rushes back. Flips it back up. Has Kanan. Kanan skates it through center ice. Dangles it all the way in. Puck right out front. Meade may have had a chance at that. Wilson then chips another one in. Puck out front to Kanan. Turns and fires. Oh, and Wilson goes down at a bad time. And this is the end as they'll skate that one in and easily tap that in. So lost an edge at the blue line and kind of skated one free. So 4-1 Maple Grove with just 47 seconds left, and that will basically seal it. I'm sure it's happened before, but I won't hold your breath at home.
I don't think it's ever happened before.
No, 3 goals in 47 seconds somewhere.
Wow.
Some
Maybe
crazy
squirt.
squirt game. Maple Grove controls deep. Well, regardless, we can start talking about next weekend. Do you remember? So we will.
We'll face the number 1 seed now.
We'll place the number 1 seed. Do you know if that means we play late? Either way, we play Friday.
So we'll play early.
We play earlier next week, Friday night in Cottage Grove. Just 20 seconds left here as Wilson brings one deep. Kurth will play it. And regardless here, we've got the regional berth as OMG will take the district title here with just 8 seconds left, and they chip it in. And that is it. So congrats to Osseo Maple Grove White, District Bantam 1 champs. Trojans nothing to hang their hat on here. We'll move on to the regionals next week. Friday night. You got a time for us?
5:15.
5:15 next Friday. The Trojans will play
Either
the one
Lakeville
seed.
North or Lakeville South.
Well, we'll play the one seed out of Lakeville, one of the Lakevilles. So we'll see you next.